Let's see if it's working. I'm live on YouTube is up here. Facebook is down here. I usually have my eyes shifting anyway because I'm channeling, so I don't know that I'll actually look at you directly into your face as much as I'd like to, but I will do my best. Mom and pop shop over here with this live recording stuff. Okay. So I'm stress eating because I have no idea what's going to be downloaded today. No idea. And so I get a little anxious, not knowing exactly what I'm going to talk about because it's not up to me completely. I do have my experiences with timing, and I'm sure those will be referenced. However, I'm going to swallow and finish my stress eating, and then we'll go into it. Anytime you are watching somebody do a live or a long replay or whatever, make sure you have your water because information needs hydration to download. In the meantime, I'm going to clear my space and welcome in guidance. If I twitch and jiggle, that is my energy field getting information and or releasing my own pathways. It's usually things coming in versus going out. So with the fun of live and Zoom and doing sessions on Zoom with people, everybody gets to see me doing weird things with my face and my head and my, and my body. Okay. So make sure that I am here. All right, stuff's coming in already. You can do this as well. This is a reminder to, my necklace is actually right where I need to be. Tapping my thymus, bringing my energy space back in. You want to be grounded when you do energy work, unless you're intentionally leaving your body. And you have to get back in. You have to ground because you don't want to stay out. It's no bueno. It's potentially dangerous. So you don't want to be driving without being in your body. So a small introduction, just as a reminder of why me, why us, why now. My name is Corinna. I have been doing energy medium work for over 35 years. Probably a lot more, just untrained. I had to learn my own way through channeling, my own way through how to receive and interpret the information that I get. I do my best always to be impartial. And I think that's why I was partly guided to do this work, because I really want to help people. And also because I'm really good at staying neutral and being a fairly balanced 50-50 hormonal type, which means I understand the male as much as the female. That's the information I get. So Do with it what you will. I do feel energy through my body, through my senses. The visual part is tertiary to audibles. I have more audibles coming to me as information than I do visuals. However, when I do see inside my projector screen in my brain. So, yeah, makes life interesting. Very interesting. And I love it. I love what I do. I love constantly learning, but more than anything, I love sharing and helping people. So I'm going to check my little phone, get rid of something. Hi, Elena. You're so adorable. Always the first on here. All right. Well, spiritual timing. Oh my gosh. In the title, I was, as sort of preparation for talking about this, and I have done this myself. I've had all these reactions. One of anger when things aren't happening in a time frame that would be nice. In the functional day-to-day stuff. Frustration. Even certainly pity. Pity's a good one. And it can really mess with your direction, because when there's anything that comes in that makes us question our confidence, our sweet little brain just doesn't know what to do with it. To be honest, that is like the biggest struggle. What I'm hearing is between the human life and the spiritual life. Because the human life, we always want to know the answers. Why? Because what? What do I have to do? All that. And in part of my title presentation, I added the spiritual giggle, because it was always said to me that spiritual timing is the biggest joke to the human timing. They don't necessarily work together easily or in a comparable sort of way. So that is part of what we need to look at today, to get a little better understanding and how to have these two halves work together more cohesively, more importantly, with more awareness. If we know that the human brain goes into tantrums, we can at least throw that in the mix when our confidence starts quivering. All right. So let me listen. Hang on. So I'm being reminded that, so if you're here, typically you're on a spiritual path, or at least you're interested in connecting the spiritual world with the day-to-day, which is why I call this daily spirituality. The hardest technique to put together. It isn't so much that spirit is kind of chucking mud in your face, right? Which is where we go when things aren't settling in the way that we think they should. Sometimes it's the practice of dedication, that you need to continue being dedicated to whatever it is that you're working towards. Sometimes it's about learning what you do with diversity. Diversity? No, that's not the word. Disparity. Thank you. So that's a big deal. And it's unfortunate, though, many people talk about if you're on a spiritual journey, things should be great and you should be able to create anything you want. And to a degree, that's true. What I hear is when it gets created isn't always up to us. Now, I've had both sides. I've had looking at the clock going, holy crap, when is this going to happen? Come on, this has got to happen. This has got to happen. Right? We've all been there. And then there are times where you ask for something, it's like, boop, happens. Or boop, you meet the right person to get that thing to happen. That's totally available to us as well. And I personally am saddened. I don't know if you guys can see me. I'm sweating like a hog over here. Boom. I've personally have been disappointed when people have been taught that they can create anything they want at the time that they want it. And I think it's unfortunate because it's sort of a letdown. And the part about the daily allowance isn't really discussed. I don't have a problem talking about the shadow side of anything, okay, that I know of. Mostly because I don't have to know about it. I just have to talk about it with what I hear. The shadow side of creating is that you don't get to decide when it's going to happen. So what do we do with that? Again, we have to decide, is that really where I want to go? Am I doing what I need to do? And if you are, and all the answers to the questions, is that really what I want? Is that really what I'm working towards? Are yes, then you have to keep going. You have to keep going. So this topic is literally all over the map. So that's why it's going to feel like we're all over the map. Hey, somebody else joined. Is that Stacy? It is. Hi, beautiful. It is. This topic is all over the map. And partly because it is part of every day. It's part of everything we do. And this is partly why I was so anxious. Because it's such a big topic. And it can be completely narrowed down. But it's not the way that it came in for me. At least not in this one. We can definitely narrow it down with questions and whatnot. That's totally awesome. So, what do we do to get past the frustration and the pity parties and the lack of worth when something doesn't happen that we've been asking to happen? When I'm shown the energy in that moment, there's a retraction that happens. to that person's energy, to our energy field. There's a retraction. So it's sort of like this, this kind of tunnel that starts pulling in, not unlike depression, light depression, not unlike that. Not unlike disappointment, which is an upper version of depression. Who else is there? Say hello. I can't see the dots. I see a pretty face. All right, say hello so I can say hello back. If you want to. So there's this retractive energy, which inherently slows shit down. Isn't that funny? So that's where we go, which doesn't accelerate. Oh, hi, Adriana. Hey, Willow. Say hi to those trees and marshes around you. So this retractory energy is exactly opposite of what we want when we're working on creating something, right? So when there's a time where you are getting upset, getting depressed about something not being created fast enough for your liking, which we know what that means, we have to keep the energy open. It's okay for a moment to drop in to, a little sadness and disappointment. Cool. Pop right back out of it. Open your energy field, stay in your body, and listen. Because when you stay open and you listen, you will come across the people you need to meet, even if it's more subtle. And those subtle moments are much harder to recognize, and you sure as shit will not see them if you're retracted. So things to do when you're in that retracted moment are reminders of things that you should be doing anyway. Could be doing anyway. I just heard, stop saying the word should. Okay, fine. Things we know, right? Drink your water, eat well, get better sleep, watch your habits, get out more after you've come out of your little retraction moment. Do something different. I tell people to do something different all the time to shake things up. Wear a color you don't normally wear. Change your hairstyle. Go through your closet, get rid of crap. Change your makeup. Any of those things will help keep things moving. Okay. If you have questions, let me know. Put them in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to take a moment, get some water, and listen some more. I did have healers in the past. Nobody on this list, although you are healers, who made it their personality. Well, I guess part of their personality. Let me think of how can I say this? It made it their task to wow people with how much they could create instantly. Made a whole business, whole careers out of it. And that's cool. It's magnificent. And yet, I heard that they were not being as honest with people as people needed. And so you want to be careful when you work with others. You definitely want to be careful that they are not manipulating divine timing. As I hear, it can create like a spiritual car crash. So it kind of sits in the category of manipulating time. And it goes into semantics, and I'm huge on semantics. I'm huge at finding the words that work, at least for me, in the way that I see the truth and being shown the truth. There's a difference between adjusting time momentarily and manipulating time. Manipulating the outcome of timing, which may be a better way of putting it. So be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. You never want to manipulate the end result of anything, especially when you're thinking about time. Now, this person, unfortunately, had a very, sorry the pun, untimely death. And I sometimes wonder if it's that she sort of used up her quota. I don't know. It's just a thought. Just a thought. So how do we adjust time and not manipulate it? I was going to tell you about something I heard. Nah, don't talk about that yet, quite yet. So how can we adjust time without manipulating it? Okay, here's a game that you can play short term, just to see if you're together with time, right? A game to play together with time, spiritual timing. And that's streetlights or four-way stop signs. Don't change the time. Don't change the red light to green. For Lord, please. Again, the spiritual car crash turns into a literal car crash. Don't do that. That's manipulating. However, you could, as a way of adjusting time, adjust your flow so that you catch all the green lights. That'd be fun. That could be adjusting, harmless, playing a little bit in the field of magic and energy, but you're adjusting yourself to the light. You're not changing the light to work for you. Does that make sense? That's the difference between manipulating and adjusting. Okay. So it's your flow that needs adjusting to match the light. So you can do something like that. There have been many a times. Says, okay, now you can talk about it. There have been many a times when I have been late somewhere or going to be late somewhere that I didn't want to be. And I have asked for time to shift so that I get there closest possible. That's still safe. That does not harm anybody, to get to that end point as close to the time that I was wanting to get there. And when I'm done, I have to put everything back. Say, okay, thank you. I'm done. I appreciate it. Boom. But again, it's momentary. And if I am meant to be late because like all the party guests are late and I'm supposed to be there working on the party guests, it all works out. But it's harmless. It's an adjustment of time, the time continuum. It's not manipulating it. So that's just really, really important to distinguish the difference. So pay attention and watch yourself. Okay. All right. So that's how we can have fun with time. There are all sorts of beliefs around time. Father time. Why is it father time? There are certainly family traits around time. My father was horribly late even if you told him it was 2 hours ahead of when he was supposed to be there, he would still be late. So we do have to deal with some beliefs around time that we model consciously or unconsciously. And it like becomes that, like, tardiness becomes a somatic memory, the anxiety leading up to it, the anxiety going there, the traffic, all that becomes a memory in our biology. So we do have to very consciously, like any other habit, we have to sort of shift that belief pattern, shift that habitual cycle that our biology understands. And that has to become very conscious. Again, like any other pattern that we want to change. So let's see, are there some beliefs that we want to shift today? I hear yes. Okay. So one of the ones that I hear for the people that are joining me today is that I'm running out of time. That's a big one. So you don't have to accept the change. I'm going to ask for you to get some understanding around this, some clearing, and an adaptive way of thinking about time instead of feeling like you're running out of time. And so that energy, when I see it, is that time has like this sort of a container that keeps shrinking and shrinking and shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. And there's like this feeling that I have to get in that zone before it collapses. Okay. So that's what we're asking for you all as participants to have shifted for you. And for some of you, it's in the back of your neck, back of your head. Old stuff. So we're going to ask for that energy to shift and clear out, and to experience what it would be like if time was actually expanding a little bit, slowly, but a little bit, as a opposition to what you're used to feeling about time. All right, let's see. One more. Someone in here, maybe some of us, more than one person, there is a belief that it seems sort of back-ass words, but the belief came up that it is unsafe to be on time. That might be me. And I just flashed, what I saw was somebody's experience. It doesn't even have to be yours, because it just be something that you know about. Somebody's experience of not being born on time because it wasn't safe. I mean, that's just how far back our biology holds stuff. And it can go further back to past lives and but the biology part, the memories in the biology part is so fascinating to me. I love it, love it, love it, love it. So that is what I saw. So we're going to, regardless with whom this might be settling in, we're going to shift it, because anything that's unsafe, we definitely want to shift to safe. Safety is number one. So what we're going to do is just ask for a gentle showing, a feeling, an understanding of what safety could look like, right? Arriving on time now, right? Not in the memory, if the memory was unsafe, but now, because we're not where we are when this memory was created. So we have to update, we have to upgrade. It's a little bit like a virus check. So I know a lot of you understand what I'm talking about, but just wanted to make it a little more thorough. And that one is all right here. Sort of that crowning moment. I can't make this shit up. I really can't. Okay. Ugh. All right. So I think that was the last one I wanted to do. Specific one. So now I'm being asked to just initiate some forgiveness if you've ever manipulated time or the end result of time. Cool. Let it go. And also, a reminder of how to stay expansive when time seems like it's taking forever. And to remind you to stay diligent and stay on your path. Stay on your path. Don't allow yourself to, be unrooted and go from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. If you are rooted and the time doesn't seem fair or appropriate to your human brain, then when you feel, this sort of, maybe I should move, maybe I should shift, maybe I should, stop and just get rooted. Okay. If in rooted position, you are being suggested to go to another route for a moment, part of it is just to get our brain out of the cycle of self-crazy. And so it's just a reminder. So I'm going to send that intention to you all and to whoever watches the replay. I do my best to keep these short, 30 minutes, because I do not want to be on a soapbox. I just want to share, man. I just want to share. So unless there are any questions, I think we're done. So I'm going to bring myself back in. I so thank you for joining me. If you have questions that come up afterwards, and if you want to watch the replay, it'll be up in a little while. Please let me know. You can email me, the Heart of Wellness LA @gmail.com. Check out my website, theheartofwellness.com. And I don't know, it's on TikTok. The name's everywhere. However, it has to be the in front of Heart of Wellness. I know there's somebody has a similar name on the web, so look for the rainbow heart. That will be me and what I represent. Also, if you have anybody who needs a little reminding about spiritual timing and how to get through it, and you found this valuable, please share it. All right. Be kind to yourself. Remember, falling back on our own little pity party is okay for a moment, and then go back to being your brilliant self, because that's where you're meant to be. All right. Take care. Be well. We'll talk to you soon.